Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, and I am not wearing pants. Anyways, World's Strongest Man Day 2, update, a little bit of insight, what we saw going on, what we think we know from looking at random Instagram clips and spreadsheets. Day 2 consisted of either heats. So basically, if a heat did the Conan's wheel, circle of strength, yesterday, then today they had Kettlebell Toss. The Kettlebell Toss, I think, was somewhere around 35 to 70 pound kettlebells to 15 and a half feet or so. So that would be groups, let's see, sorry, a little tired, 3 and 5 had that, and then the other groups either did a squat or a deadlift. Some things to note looking at the kettlebell toss: the first group to do it was group 3, and it looked like the kettlebells were a lot further away. If you see the video I shared on the Starting Strongman Instagram and Facebook of Robert Oberst, he looks like he's running like really far compared to Brian Shaw. So they probably scooted those up after the heat. That kind of stuff happens. If it was all the same for the same heats, you know, within the heat, and it's not going to affect the overall points, not that big a deal. Just interesting little things to note. And if you look at like trying to compare certain times, I believe group 3 had a handicap in that, so you can't really compare fairly their results for the other heats if you want to, you know, figure out who placed the best overall. Stuff like that changes sometimes. Anyways, let's just go group or heat, whatever you want to call it, one by one. In heat 1, Hafthor Bjornsson continues to be on his world domination tour, winning the first 3 events, and he's pretty much coasting into the finals from here, looking like he's going to win. Heat 3, I think the surprise in the squat is Lawrence Chalet. Sorry. Or no, wait, wrong group. Sorry, yeah, Lawrence only got 4th. That'd be, what, 6th, 5th, 3rd in it. He got 3rd in the squat. You know, he's always winning it. Something I want to note on the squat, it looked like, so if you look at group 1, every single person did every barrel, but like Hafthor did it in about 27 seconds. Then the next closest was 29, then 30, another 30, 41, and 43. So we're talking about a couple seconds in the squat. So I don't think it was loaded heavy enough. The deadlift looks like it was a good weight where some people are getting 5 or 6 and maybe 1 or 2 getting 7, and there's a little bit more split in there. But it doesn't look like the squat was quite loaded heavy enough for the athletes. It's pretty much the same weight they were doing, you know, a decade ago. I think 360 kilos was the last one. It's not going to do the conversion because you're going to correct me and you realize I'm doing this off the top of my head and I can't stop talking for over 10 minutes, so it's a little different. I could do the math with a calculator or quickly, but anyways, Hafthor wins that. Marius Lawless, Marius gets 2nd and is currently in 2nd place overall with 13 points, followed by, Belsak's in 2nd place with 13 points, followed by Marius Lawless with 12, and Lawrence Chalet has 10. Payman looked like, I saw him in, they posted a warm-up video of the squat on the World's Strongest Man Facebook page. They actually went live, which is kind of funny because that's the closest we've ever got to a World's Strongest Man live stream, was watching them do the squat warm-up. But Payman in his Instagram stories posted his blown-out squat suit, which I saw him struggling to get into, and the thing looked really tight. So he looked a little mad about that. His performance wasn't the best on it either. You know, getting 5th place, so I'm sure that that's not fun with barrels crashing down and the entire backside of your squat suit blows out. But maybe don't use such a tight squat suit. Anyways, with the next events they have going into day 3, they have an arm over arm pull and a log press. To be curious, I don't know how good Belsak is at arm over arm, but he's looking pretty good in that heat. But pretty much still, you know, anyone's game for second place between Marius Lawless, Big Laws, and Belsack. On to Group 2. So they had a kettlebell toss and a deadlift, and Brian Shaw won both events, and he's, he got second in the first one, but he's, I think, taking his time, not pushing it, and he's looking very good. He launched the kettlebells into orbit, completing all of them. Adam Bishop is looking strong. I know I kind of was discounting him coming into this contest because he pulled out of Europe's a couple weeks ago because he had a slight bicep twinge. Doesn't seem to be affecting him too much because he is in second place with 14 points, getting 2 second-place finishes on day 2, with Johan Els looking very strong as well with 13, so I think it's going to come down between those two. Adam Dirks solidly in 4th place with 8 points, followed by Johnny Hansen with 7. They will have an arm-over-arm the next day, and I think that's really going to be a big test of Bishop's bicep. Arm-over-arm pull is not going to be fun on a bicep. If it is, her dumbbells shouldn't affect it too much. You can use either arm. But I think, I don't know, looking at Johan Els, he looks like someone who's good at arm-over-arm. But I expect Brian Shaw to win that event as well. But it's kind of in between Bishop and Els in Group 2. Paul Smith, not having the best of time, late replacement. But, he's young and only going to get better. Heat 3, they had kettlebell toss, followed by squat lift. This is a very interesting heat right now. It's been very back and forth. Robert Oberst went into the day leading, or actually after day 2, he was leading because he had 2 second-place finishes. He did 6 kettlebells in about 55 seconds. Luke Stoltman did it slightly faster. He did, a lot faster, 44 seconds. Well, he really took his time. He missed 1. He probably could have got first in that event, but still 2 solid second place, and he had 10 points after the first 2 events. But the shocker was that Zydrunas Savickas really struggled with the kettlebell toss and was only able to complete 4 kettlebells, and he got last place in that event. And the event 1 winner, Brian Benzel, got 5th. So there's a lot of flip-flopping every which way there. Going to the squat lift again, a lot of flip-flopping. The most consistent athlete so far, Robert Oberst. I saw a video, he was doing it in the rain. His foot kind of slipped, and then he kind of lost, and he only did 5 barrels, which I believe got him last place in the event. So going into that, he should have 11 points. I think, or maybe he has, he might have got 5th in the event. Not entirely sure, because I'm pretty sure he's tied for first, but I think there's 4 or 5 of the athletes right now. I think pretty much like Zydrunas, Benzel, Hicks, Savickas, and Stoltman all have like between 12 and 10 points. So it's pretty much a wash. They will be doing a bus pull, which is a harness and rope pull, on day 3. So that's getting really close there. I haven't tallied up the points 100% yet. The videos just went out, but Oberst struggled in the squat. Graham Hicks actually beat Zydrunas in the squat. He did it in 32 seconds, which is pretty fast. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. There's a lot going on there. That's going to be one of the groups to really watch, because it's in the air, like between who even gets first or second. It's not just a race for second at this point. Everyone's within, I think, a point or so of each other. In Heat 4, Martins is just looking like a world beater. He's looking like he could podium very easily this year. I know that's not much of a stretch considering he got 4th place last year, and Eddie Hall, who was one of the people who placed above him, isn't there. So he should be if people say he's a dark horse to podium, that's ridiculous statement. But he didn't look great at the Arnold Australia a couple weeks ago, but he just brings his best work to to Worlds. I think the format really fits him. I think the kind of guy he is, his mentality, it means more to him. It's what he's always wanted to do. I remember talking to him when he was, you know, a mid-range amateur heavyweight. You know, he's like 242 pounds, and he's like, I got to get to Worlds, and he had that hunger, and he just keeps doing it. It's really cool to see. He's won all 3 events. He completed the deadlift in 47 seconds, getting first. Just in JF Karan with he has like a messed up hip flexor is what I've heard, did it in 53 seconds. And good old Mark Felix gets 3rd place and is still currently in 2nd place in the group and looking very good. It's going to be interesting. They have arm over arm pull again. I know JF always struggles with truck pull, it seems. I don't know how his arm over arm is. I'm assuming it's good. He has really strong back, grip, and arms. I don't think that event will affect the hip flexor very much, but Mark Felix looks like he's, you know, good on that event too, as long as you know, they stay right there. But and so that's really going to come down to how many points that Felix loses on the dumbbell medley. I think, you know, then that'll be on the last day of the finals on day 4. But you know, either way, I think it looks like it's going to come down between JF Karan and Mark Felix on the stones to see who goes into the finals on that, and that's going to be interesting. You know, a slightly injured JF, is he good enough to best the 51-year-old Mark Felix in a head-to-head stone series? We're going to have to see. That's most likely what's going to happen in Heat 4. Heat 5, Shivlikov is doing amazing. He was my pick to win Heat 5. People told me I was crazy, that there's no way he could best a Janashia and Kilkowski, and so far he has 16 points. He had 2 first-place finishes on day 2, winning the Kettlebell Toss. He's always been good at the events. One of the reasons I picked him, if you looked at the Arnold, he's always right behind Sean Thor on the bag toss. He has great technique. Watch the video I posted. It looks great. And he also won the deadlift, even though with Janashia getting 2nd. And Kilkowski didn't do too bad. He got 3 points in it and did 5 of them. I think the vehicle deadlift is a lot better event for him, and that's what they have in the finals. So I think it's best case scenario for Kilkowski in the finals if he ends up making it. They have a bus pull that's going to be, I think Kilkowski's going to win that. He might pull ahead of Shivlikov if he does that, and it'll be interesting to see. It just depends on how Shivlikov does compared to Janashia. Not too sure how good Janashia's bus pulls are. But Shivlikov struggled in the past. I think last time at Worlds his shoe fell off, so hopefully he's got that all figured out and he's worked on it since. But he's looking good, and you know, it's just a shame that all 3 of those athletes are in the same group, because those could all 3 be in the top 5 in the finals. I think Janashia might do slightly better in the finals if he went through than Shivlikov, just looking at the events. But I think if it comes down to head-to-head in the Atlas stones, between the 2, I think Shivlikov wins. And the dumbbell, it's just, I know Shivlikov he has like the Russian record in the dumbbell press. He's pretty good at it, and Kilkowski is a beast when healthy. We know he had some shoulder issue. He has a reattached tricep. So is his dumbbell back up to snuff, or is he gonna struggle with it like he did with the log at Europe's and with the axle at the Arnold Classic? So that's the most telling event for Kilkowski is the dumbbell, but the bus pull is going to say a lot. So going into day 4, we have the groups either doing the arm over arm or the bus pull as discussed. And then on day 3 today, they're going to be doing that. Then day 4, they'll be doing either a log lift or a dumbbell medley with ascending weight dumbbells. And then the numbers 2 and 3, as I discussed in a prior video, go back and look at this channel. We'll be doing Atlas Stones head-to-head to see who goes to the finals. First place automatically goes in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments that you guys are enjoying these update videos. I'm trying to do my best to do this. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Of course, go to startingstrongman.com for more up-to-date information, and follow at Starting Strongman on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and myself at Let Kalle Lift. And you know, if you share these videos, really appreciate it. Get the views up. You know, I get all these questions individually asking me all these things about World's Strongest Man, and I just do not have the time. So I sit down for 15 minutes or so to do these. And also, this goes up in an audio version. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe on your favorite podcast app, Strong Talk Podcast. Go back, listen to all the interviews I have done. They're also available on the YouTube channel with you know, some of the people here. Like, I've had interviews with Robert Oberst, Adam Dirks, Rob Kearney, Zadruna Savickas, Nick Best, and you know, a lot of other, you know, amateurs or, you know, newer pros in the sport, trying to grow the sport and raise the awareness of what goes on. And for all of your strongman training needs, you can go to store.startingstrongman.com, and you can pick up, you know, everything you need there, from SBD, you know, gear, you know, grip shirts, my own apparel, how to train strongman in a regular gym, cube method for strongman, all that stuff. Thanks for watching, listening, and let's see what happens in day 3 at World's Strongest Man.